Good morning. So the 7C's 1200. This is the perfect size for me. It fits in my quiver. I've been winging on the 1480, and so this feels like, it's the same span. And so like as far as width, that's as wide as I want to go. And it's a drop down and lift, but once you get it up and going, man, the speed feels so good. And I'm starting to feel it out here on, this is probably session 5. And towards the end of our season, one of the biggest days we had, and about the best conditions I could hope for this time of year. And I'm still finding that edge of like, how hard can I turn without blowing out the tip and ventilating and crashing. And so just, feeling it out. But man, the speed, it's so fun, like I said, it takes more work than I'm used to get up. But once there, it just carries and goes, and I can stay up. It just feels way, nimble. It feels nimble in a good way without being like all over the place and super loose and twitchy, but a good nimble. And the fuselage that it comes with is the pretty short one, so that probably helps a lot. But again, it feels stable and didn't feel like it detracts from the pumping. Like for me, it felt like a different cadence pumping. It's more fast and down the line, and rather than pogo sticking around and being able to dig out of a hole, that kind of pumping, not so much with this foil. It's more just like once get the speed up, can just real fast pumping and keep it going in a fun way. So I was having fun, and I'm having fun, and I'm stoked. Like the 1200 is a good size for me, and I'm glad I picked that one. So surfing, this is one of the waves I had in mind for this wing. And here we see tip out, doesn't ventilate. So that's awesome. That's one of the big things I always look for. But this wave is just kind of a little A-frame beach break kind of peak that dumps, and then it runs for a little bit, and then it backs off and becomes kind of a pump wave. And normally I don't like waves like this. I'm just not much of a pumper. I want the long down the line, long period point breaks where you can just rip turns all day. And so usually I'm not stoked to come here, but with this wing, it made this wave come alive because it's more of a pumping and down the line and can go from peak to peak looking for the energy. And so it's really fun and just, a session saver. Like I'm super stoked to have it in my quiver now. And, there's plenty of days when the conditions just aren't the way I like. And so the choice is like, go do something else or ride a foil that I'm not super stoked on, or have to work really hard. And so to have this in my quiver and be able to bring it out and just milk around these things and have fun, like the other people that foil here, they're on, the real wide, flat pump wings, which are not suited to my style, and I don't really like it. But so this shape, it's got enough anhedral, and it's right at the width. I wouldn't go any wider for my, personal taste. So it's perfect for me. It's got that nice balance of still turns, still, fast, has the carry and the pump, but it's a nice blend for me. I really appreciate this shape and in this size. Like I was tempted, surf wise, I was never tempted to go any bigger. Like the 1400 at its width just seems way too wide than I am and interested in, especially for winging, seemed even less desirable. And so this is a good size for me. So here we are on some speed tests. Again, this is the end of season here. And so this is about the best I can do as far as, getting wind and flat water together. And so I'm hitting 19. That's what I topped out according to the GPS. And I have it set conservatively as far as averaging the peaks out. Like, I could fiddle with the thing and it'd show peaks in the 20s. But I don't think that's realistic. I think the way I have it set is more realistic. And I'm sure like, on the perfect conditions, if it was like nuking in the 30s and flat water and I had a 4 meter, I could probably, milk out some more speed, but it feels fast. And that's what's fun for me. It both feels fast and it's still, I'm not on a ridiculously wide wing and it still carves. And yet 8 meter, it's just not my style, way too big. I didn't like having the 8 meter. So here on the 5 meter, I was able to get tons of speed and still have enough headroom as far as moving the wing around and pumping and stuff that it doesn't feel too big. The 8 meter was just overkill, too much work. But with the 5, it feels really fun. Same with the 6. And, this is the end of our season, and I'm just trying this bigger board just to see how this foil feels on different boards, both weight and volume and whatnot. And I'm stoked on it. It's as long as I get the speed up, feels great in that lighter wind, funky wind, not so much, but on these good days, for me, winging, it's a good day. It's when the conditions are how, peak season, how it is pretty much every day. Like this is foil for me. I'm really stoked on the speed. And here we are back this is probably session 6. I had a couple days in a row of wind around 20, and just, man, it feels so nimble and fast. And so it's fun. I'm hooked on the speed. I want to, get more days like this. So yeah, I got this from Jeff Clark at Mavericks Paddle Sports, and that's where I get all my foils and boards and wings. And so if you need some gear, head on over there, check them out. And Half Moon Bay there. And on my website, I have a detailed review on the speed. I have comparison to the 1280 Phantom and the 1480 Phantom side by side with the 7 Seas 1200. So to see a contrast, difference between the peak speed I was getting on the 7 Seas and both the Phantoms. And so that's there. And also I go into details about what didn't work as far as 7 Seas for me, where the waves that it's not for me. It's not the kind of foil and the riding I want to do, and how it didn't work. So if you want to know more about the 7 Seas, come on over to my website. And thank you so much. Also, YouTube has the super thanks option. So if this video is helpful and you like it, please do that, or come on over to the website and start a membership today. Thank you so much, and hope to see you out there.